So are you relying on luck instead of systems to get leads? So in today's episode, we're going to talk about how to create leads and not just hoping that we're creating leads and that we're going to get results, but actually navigating it and making sure that we're getting the leads that we need in order to have a healthy stream of clients coming into your coaching business every month.
Yeah, because I think way too many are hoping that when they wake up, they will have new leads. It's not really happening. The worst thing that happens, and I hear this a lot, people are relying on referrals. That's a really trigger that you are doing a great job, but it's also not predictable. You don't know when will you get the referrals. You can't build a sustainable business having that. It's way too reactive in a business where we need to be proactive getting leads.
And the worst thing about being reactive in your business is that you are putting yourself on the sideline of making any changes in your business, which means that you're going to be stressed about money.
Yeah.
You're going to be stressed about I need to take action because now it's time for me to react because something happened, whatever that is. You don't have a clear idea of like how to run your business. You haven't decided on how do we approach and what kind of stand do we take for X, Y, or Z, which means that it's not your business.
Yeah.
You own the business and all the money that's in the business are yours, but it's not yours because it depends on everyone else and how everyone else behaves. That's never going to work. Doesn't matter what industry you're in. We're in coaching and it's just like any other business. You need to take control and navigate and make some decisions of what is this going to look like and how am I going to do this?
Another thing I see is that a lot of people are giving up way too soon. Like they set up systems that are way too complex.
Can you please just say, what do you mean by giving up?
Giving up on a strategy or a tactic way too early before they got enough data.
Yeah.
They are starting up too complex systems that they can't keep, or they can't afford to have them running because they're too early stage in the business. So they're setting it up too early, or they are testing it in a week. And expect like, it didn't work. I tried that. It didn't work. And it was, okay, so how many people did you get through? Well, I got 5 people. Well, that's just insufficient data. So you give it up. And then I think most people give up on the strategy doesn't work. Instead of, it might be the strategy is awesome, but there was a little part of the tactic that you didn't do the right way. Your wordings here could be a little bit different, but you give up the complete tactic or the complete strategy instead of sticking out and discovering. Because honestly, most people do not track. They do not measure the numbers or do not measure what's working. So if you have a strategy set up, it doesn't mean the strategy didn't work. It might mean that there was a little part of it. So in all, it might still be a perfect strategy, but we need to break down a strategy into small parts, small steps, and measure each one of them. So let's say there's several landing pages. We need to know, where did they drop off? Yeah. Maybe we can just fix that and it would be a great lead flow.
Next step is to recognize bottlenecks.
Yeah.
Being able to spot where is the chokehold on this flow. And now we're talking about funnels. We can also talk about content. We can also talk about a lot of different things, which we are going to cover throughout this episode. But recognizing chokeholds, recognizing bottlenecks is very, very important because you can have a very stupid funnel that everyone will understand that I'm not recommending, super important, but add to landing page to either book a call or register to an event. When you have 5 people registering for a thing on your landing page, your next step is to optimize. And if you've spent a lot in order to get those 5 whatever, then you know that something is broken. And it's very, very easy. The moment you just take a minute and just look at it, you will see, okay, cool. So where am I spending the most money and why isn't it converting? The click-through rate and the people are ending up on the landing page. Okay, good. What does that mean? It means that the ad is working. People are actually coming from the ad into the thing, looking at it because something captured them. Okay, cool. So change the landing page and start split testing it. Create a new one that is similar, but you change it and then you do an A/B test. And then you figure out, okay, so which one is working? And good, this one seems to be working better. Then start working on the one performing a little bit less. Update that and see if you can outperform the other one. Very, very simple, easy things. When you have a funnel, it's super easy to recognize where is the bottleneck in my thing. And people aren't spending enough time. They're evaluating the entire funnel as like, is this working or isn't it?
Yeah.
And then they give up on it because it didn't work properly. And what happens when you have that behavior is that you're going to do it again and again and again and again
you
and again.
literally start over 6-7 times during a year.
Yeah. And you're never going to get a new result. It's kind of like going to a bar. I want to find a date and then ask everyone, do you want a date with me? And then you don't get a result. So you're like, but yeah, no, like no one loves me. I'm disgusting. I'm never going to get a girlfriend or whatever. It's the same thing. We need to stick to it, and we need to have a commitment that extends further than just, I'm going to try.
Yeah. So the lead flow needs to be fixed. Having inconsistency in the lead flow, it is an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
You feel like sometimes your business is just about to take off. It's about to hit momentum, and other times
something's happening. I'm feeling excited. It's about to explode, and then
you have stress and burnout and doubt. Oh, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe I just need to get a job. Right?
And that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
And then you're less secure or less certain and more insecure the next time you're going to try it.
Yeah.
And then you try it again.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing happens. And the third time you're going to try it, you're less certain and you're even more insecure.
Yeah.
And you're starting to think that it's about you.
Yeah.
So you get less and less confident.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're going to end up feeling that you are the one that can't do this.
Yeah, and you start new things all the time, but it's just a chaos because you don't follow through in anything. You just keep starting new because you work out from a very stressed mindset or approach where you just keep throwing balls in the air everywhere and not following up on any of them, which means that you can't scale. You can't scale chaos.
No.
It's not predictable. Without predictability, you will be hustling in your business all the time, and it will feel hard.
So the problem is that you're going to have a lot of emotional roller coaster. The problem is also that you're going to feel exhausted. You're going to burn yourself out. You're not going to get result, and you're just going to start thinking that you are not cut out for this. And it doesn't matter. Now we talked about ads. This is not an episode about ads. This is an episode about lead flow. You don't have to run ads, but it's just a clear example. And what happens is that if you aren't able to do one thing with a full commitment, seeing it through, then you are going to end up thinking that you are not cut out to be able to do this. Yeah. And then you're going to suffer. Yeah. And then ultimately you're going to give up on the entire thing. Yeah. And we don't want that.
So the simplest way to start your lead flow is, first of all, start with organic. You need to know who you speak to. And you need to understand your avatar. If you're skipping that because you just believe that, people who want to buy my program, that's not your avatar.
And also, you need one avatar.
Yeah, you need one.
You need to know who it is, and you need to create that demographic, but it needs to be one. Yeah. Because the moment you speak it to, guess what? Complexity. And guess what's going to happen? Nothing.
So you need to have that. The easiest way to do lead gen is making sure you're giving away, have lead gen post or content that is speaking to that is solving a problem. So you do give away lead gens that will solve a micro problem for your ideal avatar. The most important thing is that you know what is their biggest suffer, what's their biggest problem, what is it they want, what is their objection, and you need to be able to call out your avatar. So you need to be able to give away the things they want. Now, you can do this organically on any social media platform you have. If you use Facebook, you can even go into Facebook groups that is not yours to reach a bigger audience. So I got this thing for avatar who has this problem and they want this thing in the next 30 days. If you want it, it's free. Comment, word below. It's a very simple thing to be able to do, and you can make 100 different variations of that.
Infinitely. And we can't presume which one will work better than the other. We need to test.
You need to be committed to test every 14 day at least. You need to test this.
And once you set your lens, the way you see things, your perspective, to I'm going to focus on curiosity around creating lead gens, then it's going to be super easy to come up with, what about this thing? Yeah. And one for this episode, it could be, if I were to create a lead gen, it could be I'm looking for 3 coaches that are between 5,000 and 10,000 euros a month to help them get 100 leads a month in 90 days.
I'll put in a link down below for you to go out and download our training on how to do lead gens.
Yeah, cool.
Microwave magnets. So I'll add that. So you can go in there and there'll be, I think there's about 20 different ways to post for getting lead gens.
We've never given this away for free. This is something that our paying clients are getting, who invest a handsome amount of money monthly to be with us. So it's wildly, wildly valuable.
Yeah. So I'll add that to down below. So go and grab that. Once you do this organically, the second thing is now we can start adding a little bit of money into it. We can start adding 5 years a day.
Yeah.
Once you tested out a lot of different texts and you tested out the different lead gens and you know which one works, you take those that works the best and you put money behind them. Yeah. You start boosting those posts. You start boosting them because you know they've been tested organically already. So you know that people want them. So now you can put in money to it, which means that you can now just have it going daily as a boosted post and people will comment to it. And you can even take it out and make it into a lead gen form ad. And again, put 5 years a day. You don't need to have big money into these ads, but just to keep getting a lead format and move them into your platform. If you have a landing page and all of that, you can definitely move them in there. Otherwise, you can just move them into your social media so you can start having conversations. That is the easiest way to do it, which means that we are installing paid ads on top of what's already working organically. We've been testing it out. If you work on Instagram, you can do it in Reels because Reels work really well. And you can test out different Reels with the same lead gens in there. And you can trial Reels. And once you find the one that works, again, put money behind them, either into just boosting content, or you can take them out and turn them into ads that will run. Now, what you've been doing at this stage is now you have a machine that will run 24/7.
Yeah.
This is a simple lead gen machine. It will run while you sleep. You will have new leads when you wake up. You will have new people commenting, engaging, or getting into your list, depending on what funnel you're taking people into. If we're not doing anything with them and we just expect them, then now I can wait here. And when will they ask me if they can buy my stuff? Well, they won't.
No.
They won't. What needs to happen after this stage?
Well, the natural next step is to start conversations, start connecting with people, making sure that we are building a relationship, starting a foundation. And it's not a friendly chat, it's a supporting chat. It's coming from authority, coming from being the person best qualified to help to do this specific exact thing that you do, and then serve them. There are 1,000 ways to master chats and conversations. It's the 100% the best way in order to move leads from I don't know who you are to feeling, hey, you're kind of interesting, because it's non-dramatic compared to all the other options that you have, emails, calling them, SMS, whatever it is, because either they're too invasive, it's too big of a step too fast. You can knock on their door, because you can Google for their address and go knock on their door.
But definitely run emails on the side if you have an email.
100%,
do email marketing.
100%. But it's less
the conversations are better.
Yeah, chats are less invasive. It's non-dramatic. So we need to master the capabilities of being able to facilitate a conversation with people in the DMs.
Yeah.
And since they're already on your social media because of the lead gen, it's super easy and it's super close. And it's so easy to just start it.
Yeah.
And when you're working with lead gens, it's important to remember and understand that we do lead gens to get their attention. Now we need to keep their attention.
Yeah, now we need to nurture.
And the nurturing process is understanding that, okay, I need to give the thing that we've talked about without closing the conversation.
Yeah.
We want to give it and open up a conversation. Yeah. So we can't just, here's the thing, see you.
Bye-bye.
Because they're not going to get back to you. And the reason why is because why did they react? They react because they felt something that captured their attentions for a millisecond. So they reacted and then they continued living their life. Yeah. So you want to piggyback on the thing that attracted them, and then you want to start talking about something. And it could be anything that opens up the conversation. And what you can be really curious about is, how can I talk to people that starts a conversation? It's a conversation opener. Yeah. And once you've done that, we want to take a third step.
Yeah, can I just add one thing to this step? Because what's important at this time, now you have done the lead gen, you attracted the person to follow you on your social media. Now it's important that you continue organic marketing. It's about nurturing people. It's about building. That's why we don't do only lead gen content. If you only do lead gen content all the time, yeah, you'll attract people, but they'll die out because you're not building your brand and you're not building any connection, alignment with your strategy, your vision, who you are, what you do with the person.
Yeah, they're following you in practically, but they're not following you because there isn't anything to follow.
So now it's important that we continue with the organic marketing because that is your brand building. That's where they connect with you as a human and as a coach, as the authority within your market. And now we can go to step number 4, and that is run a monthly conversion event.
Yeah.
Some sort of event, and there's different kinds of events. So I would say choosing the event depends more on the level you're at and your experience.
And when it comes to experience, you build experience as you do it. So don't be like, oh, I'm not experienced enough. Here's a great opportunity for you to just claim the center stage in your business, so to say, and actually speak in front of people. Because you can never go wrong with starting to facilitate an audience.
No.
As a coach, you need to.
Yeah.
You need to be able to do it in order to be able to grow beyond having group programs, being able to help many people at the same time. And for your marketing, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Because they get to see and be comfortable with you together with others, which is a lot safer than jumping on a call and meeting you face to face and you selling to them. Because it's going to be an awkward sales call.
Which means that webinars, workshops, challenges, these are like predictable conversion days.
Yeah.
So have one monthly where you know predictably you'll be working. And if you work on your lead gen, every other thing we've been going through, if you do that daily, then you will have people at those events once you're doing the events.
Yeah.
Which means you have predictable conversions every month.
Yeah.
Test out your content organically, scale it up with ads.
Start with boosts and then with ads.
Yeah.
Use the ads to get people into your organic.
Yeah.
Not to the event itself because it's going to suck.
Getting in people, have conversations, and make sure you use organic marketing for brand building and building up your authority and connection, and invite to monthly conversion events.
Yeah.
That's the recipe.
And it's easy and it's going to work and it works for everyone. And it works because of the principles that are underlying.
Yeah.
And the principle is that you care more about the people than you care about your own sales.
Yeah.
And when you care more about people, then you're going to sell.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be interested and want to invest.
So once again, we're going to put a link down below for you to go and get help with your lead gens. But what we also want to say, if you want to have the full system into your business, go down below and schedule a call with us so we can go through what's your scale plan. What would it look like specific for you? And how fast can you actually see results in your business once you start working strategically and systematically and have that to build up that predictable growth. So make sure you schedule a call with us if you want to know what that would look like. Yeah. And if you like this episode, go subscribe.
And like and subscribe. And
we'll see you next week.
And we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye, guys.